What's poppin'? It's Mello back at you with another video, and today I'm going to be doing the first reaction I've ever done on this channel, and it's going to be to Anton Daniels from AntonDaniels.com. So let's get to it. Let's just get to it.
All right, so I only got one question, man. Why do we compare our relationship with the black women with what the white women got going on with you know, their counterparts when there's clearly like a supremacy that we still have to overcome? So I understand
Oh,
exactly what you're
Jim, are
saying.
you running in the Victim
I understand
Olympics?
we ain't in the victim Olympics, but it just has to be acknowledged. You feel me?
Why do I have to
I mean, we
acknowledge
can
your
go down.
Olympics?
So this is what's going on now. He asked a question, and I'm going to answer the question very quickly, which is why do we have to compare what the black women got going on to the white women? Why do we have to compare the black situations to what's going on with the white situations? And this is the thing. It's culture. It's culture. The culture dictates outcomes. You have to point at what's going on to why this is going this way for them, but why it's not going this way for us. The way that I feel about this type of stuff, like it's a double-edged sword. Some of it, or most of it, when we talk about this dating stuff specifically, we have complete control over. But there's situations that we've come from, that have conditioned us and have pretty much created the culture that we come from, which can hinder us and hinder our relationships and things like that. And that's how come we got so much turmoil in the black community. It's like, honestly, it's just a shit show. We just got to keep it 500,000. So that's how come there are comparisons, and that's how come comparisons need to be drawn. We're also within the same society. That's just what it is. Now, this is the thing about Anton. Anton, if you're not familiar, Anton, he is like some millionaire who be doing the commentary on Facebook. He react to a lot of stuff. He got a Patreon. He tell you how to get money. He do all of that stuff. He talk about the dating and stuff. He married. Da 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 da. One of the things about him, there's two things that I want you to know. One, he is a debater. He is a serial debater. Nothing wrong with that. So many people on YouTube have debate platforms. He comes from the Lapeef network. That's where a lot of people pretty much, black people was pretty much debating at. He's got his own debate network now. And even outside of that, if you look at people like Destiny and, the guy, Mr. Girl, he spun off from Destiny. And then you got Steven Crowder type figures and stuff. It's a lot of people who debate. So I need you to know that, because I'm going to go over some of the things he's doing once we get into this. The other thing about him that I need you to know, which shapes his racial views, because I watch a lot of his content. I've been watching it for at least a year, if not two. When the Just Pearly things happened, when the Just Pearly incident happened, he pretty much took up for her. He was one of the people who took up for Just Pearly things when she had all the racial issues going on with the Africans over there, having, the white supremacists on her platform, et cetera, et cetera. All the crazy shit. Let's get back into the video. I just needed to give you that information.
I mean, we can go down the timeline. Like after slavery, the
Oh
black
my
nuclear
God.
family was very successful.
Okay, Jim. Let
Hey,
me ask you. Let me ask you a question, Jim. Let me ask you a question, Jim.
uh,
What
I'm
what
listening.
what what uh what oppression are you experiencing right now in your life? How old are you?
I'm 30 years old.
Okay, as a 30-year-old man, what kind of oppression have you experienced?
Now we're going to stop there. This is what he's doing. He already knows where he's going to land. He already knows where he's trying to take it. Instead of addressing what the man is saying head on, he's trying to get basically, some type of compliance ladder or something like that so that he could walk a guy into his point. That's all that's going on. He's talking general. He's talking general. Anton gets specific and individual. He gets specific and individual. Let's continue.
What kind of oppression have I experienced?
Yes, sir.
The oppression is already set in stone. I mean, if you don't see it, bro,
No, 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 no,
it's
no,
just
no. I didn't ask you what the stone said. I'm asking you, what have you experienced from an oppression perspective?
What have I experienced from an oppression perspective?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's almost too much to say, bro. But at the same time, I'm a strong man. I still keep pushing
No, no, no,
forward.
no,
You
no,
feel
no,
me?
no. Just give me two examples. Just give me a hot two.
Two examples. All right. So I'm in aviation mechanics, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's predominantly Hispanic and Hispanic and white. A white man's basically, basically dominating the field.
Mm-hmm.
So we go through a lot of things in that workforce that try to
Like
sweep us
what? Give
under
me
and
an
stuff. So
example.
that's
Give me
one.
an example of how you experienced an oppression.
Um, like just like it's just. I mean, it's just common sense, man.
No, it's not
It's
common
common
sense. I'm
sense.
asking you for a real life example.
Like it's just. I mean, it's too much to even like explain.
No.
Now, see, dude was caught off guard. He was caught off guard. He didn't think he was going to step into this type of smoke because he had a question and he was probably ready to talk about things that had, to do with that question he was asking. But now we're talking about his personal life. We're talking about his career. So he's completely befuddled and he's searching his life for oppression. When he never said he was oppressed, he said we are oppressed. There's a difference. I personally, and I'm not going to get deep on me, but I can't say I've dealt with any hardcore oppression in my life. I can say that there are certain things that happen where it's like, okay, I have to remember that I'm black. You got a job interview on a Saturday and they tell you, on Saturdays, we allow people to dress casual so you can come in with whatever you want. You come in and I go in casual. It's a few people looking casual, but it's some people who are dressed business. When I don't get the call back from the job, you gotta evaluate why. And the thing about it, when you're black, you could say this is some limiting belief shit, but we'll talk about the limiting belief shit later. I don't know where this is gonna go. I haven't watched the whole clip, but I gotta say, okay, maybe I didn't do that good on the test. Maybe I should have did the test faster. Maybe I could have answered the questions better. Maybe. I look at everything else before I get to, because you can't control this and you can't prove it in most cases. You know what? This is where I fucked up. I'm black. The fact that I'm black, you never know if the employer has a racial bias. If they have a racial bias, you never know. So you don't want to add to that racial bias or just give them the wrong impression. And you may think like, okay, maybe you're on bullshit. And this is the thing, because you might say, why would you want to work for a racist motherfucker anyway? Well, the thing about it is, one, a lot of the racism in corporate America is covert. When it comes to these jobs and institutions, it's covert. And even then, the second thing is you got to make a living. If a motherfucker is overtly racist and you can prove it and you can know it, no, I don't want to work for the motherfucker. If it's covert and I sniff it out and smell it, no, I don't want to work for the motherfucker. But when you can't tell, you still got to make a living and you still got to get a job. So at the end of the day, you don't want to make a bad impression and you want to do everything you can. You got to be better. It's the whole stereotype that you've been told all your life as a black person. You got to do 2 times better just to get half of what they get. That type of shit. But if you think I'm bullshitting, I think it's Harvard that did a study on names on job applications. And when the names are names that are pretty much outside of traditionally white names and they come off more black, like Tonquisha or some shit, employees or employers are way less likely to call those people back and to give them a shot at an interview. Society is filled with shit like this. Society is filled with shit like this. So when it comes down to it, I can't say like I myself am a oppressed individual and I've dealt with heavy oppression But there's a certain awareness that I have to have of how the world works in comparison to a white person who could just go out and they don't have to worry about none of this shit. And that goes to dealing with cops. Absolutely fucking goes to dealing with cops. It goes to dealing with like, you know, if I do certain shit like white collar crime or some shit like that, they gave a 17-year-old boy a crazy ass sentence like football numbers for doing credit card fraud when they be giving white dudes a slap on the wrist, 2 years and shit like that. Those type of sentences happen because you black. So there's an awareness you have to avoid this type of shit. And you can say, oh man, you shouldn't be wanting to do crime anyway. I don't have no criminal record, nigga. But at the end of the day, there are things, and it's usually institutional, that affect us in ways that it doesn't affect white people. These are just facts. Let's continue.
I need to know, because listen. All you talking is Umar Johnson talking points. I don't fuck with that shit, right? I went into work today. This is why I got on my pink shirt, right? I went into work today, and you know what I seen? I was the
What you
only
seen,
black
brother?
man that was in there. And you know what else that was interesting that I was in there? I was the
All right,
highest
so
paid person in the room.
all right, I'm gonna let you get on with the next caller, but let me just say something.
No, Jim.
You're great.
Jim.
You gotta have that skill. You
Jim.
just talking about that
The
skill.
one thing
You was
that
just talking about the
Jim, you gonna have to, and you know what the funniest part is? I was flashy. I had on my Versace glasses. I had on my Rolex. I'm the highest paid person that was in that room. It was literally 12 of us in the room. 8 of them were contractors. The other 3 people worked for me. We was in a strategy session, and I was in there just like this. And I looked around the room, I swear to God, on my father's grave. And the only thing I could think of was, damn, it was 3 different dudes that I could have had in this room with me, but 2 of them didn't even want to show up to the interview, and the other one showed up smelling like weed smoke. So what I'm asking you, Jim, is how are you systematically oppressed, and what experience have you experienced in your life to where you can justify saying this stuff on this live stream and these talking points that does not translate and it does not resonate with me? I need you to substantiate your argument, Jim. Where did Jim go? Where did Jim go? Did Jim just dip? Oh my God. Jim, don't tell me you also want reparations too.
That boy skedaddle. Listen, man, you gotta know when you call these people up. And look, I can't speak for white content creators because, like, I don't know no white content creators with call-in shows. I don't know none. But I know since the Kevin Samuels era, when he started doing this shit and chicks started calling in, you got to know who you dealing with and what you're getting into. You got to know who you're dealing with. You got to know your opponent. You got to know that you're about to go to war. You just got to know that. I don't know how he came in thinking it was going to be smooth, but he expected one thing and got another, and that's what Anton did. And I'm gonna lay it out a little bit more. What Anton tried to do, I already told you, he went from general to specific. He went from plural to motherfucking singular, from we to you. He went individual. So that's one thing that he did. He shifted gears on that. He got personal with Buddy. The other thing he did, he was just trying to get him to say some shit he could invalidate. That's where he was going with it. I wasn't even going to lay the whole play out. I wanted to see the play pretty much get played out, but that's all that was going to happen. He was going to say whatever he was going to say. Anton was going to invalidate it. He was in the process of doing that already, but Buddy couldn't handle the smoke. But yeah, that's where that interaction ended. Even I have been, oh man, I done got caught nasty. I done got caught with some yo, somebody hit me with a nasty debate topic or tactic on Clubhouse. Woo, that shit was crazy, man. I'm usually cold with it. But a nigga hit me with a debate tactic so nasty. I'll probably tell y'all about it one day. But woo, I was like, ooh, you got me good. Never again. But you got to be aware of what's going on in the moment when you having these conversations, man. You got to understand when you are having an honest conversation and all that's, there, all you guys are trying to do is reach a mutual understanding or, just whatever it may be. But then you got to understand when you're in a hostile debate and, the intentions are to manipulate the narrative, manipulate the conversation. It's not a good faith conversation. You got to understand the difference between those two things. Now, I'm not going to lie. I don't believe that, we are so oppressed that you can't get no money, that you can't build something, that you can't be entrepreneurial, that you can't make some shit happen, that you can't get that motherfucking $100,000 job. It's a lot of black people out here thriving. So, to an extent, I agree with him. You can't deny that there's some level of oppression, especially when it comes to institutions. Yeah, we got white people out here calling us the N-word and all types of stuff when you get on Call of Duty or when you just walking and they driving and stuff like that. But, it's higher level shit going on. It's higher level shit going on. But let me know what you think. I'm out.